Hello everyone. If you like what I'm doing here, please consider subscribing, liking, and commenting. It would really help the channel out quite a bit. Thank you very much. Hello Graveyard Talkers, and welcome to another episode of Graveyard Talk, and my name's Randy. And this is going to be one that I'm going to be doing behind the camera because of the headstone and where it's at, and because I forgot my chair. So here we're in front of the headstone for Carl Woolfield. Now Carl Woolfield was 40 years old, the veteran. November 18th, 1955, Carl was killed along with 9 other railroad workers when a New York Central Railroad passenger train hit their work truck. So they also work for a railroad. Doesn't say which one, but they work for a railroad, and they were heading to pick up one more worker to head to the site where they were going to fix the railroad, the tracks. They just happened to cross over that same section of track that they were going to work on, and as they crossed over it, they were hit by a train that apparently they didn't expect to be there. So we thought we'd talk to Carl, see if Carl has anything he would like to tell us. Probably no one has talked to Carl since November 18th, 1955. Carl, my name is Randy. In my hand are 2 items. One is a speaker. I know what a speaker is. It looks a little different than the speaker of your day. In my other hand is what we call a cell phone. It's like the telephone that you had in your day, but it's just a little bit different. Now it's all through the air. So with that, Carl, I would like to talk to you, see if you have anything you'd like to say about the day that you and 9 other railroad workers were killed in Monroe, as you rode in the back of your work truck. So with that, Carl, again, my name is Randy, and if you have anything to say, we certainly would like to hear it.
Maybe I would.
So Carl, the most that I could find out is that you guys were traveling in the back. You were sitting on the benches in the back of the truck, and you were going to pick up one more worker. Did you have any idea that you were going to get hit by a train?
Just put it up there.
Different.
So I heard Roger. I'd have to look at the names. There's a list of names. There were 9 killed, 3 that were injured. So 9, 10, 11, 12. And 1 who never got on. So 13 workers total. 1 of them never got on the truck. They hadn't picked them up yet.
Very still, it's like something.
So we'll have to listen. Like I always say, I don't hear everything. I heard I was killed. So Carl, you're aware that you were killed when your truck was hit by a train. Is there anything that you can tell me about that day that you remember?
Something there.
What? Friend?
Man.
Whoa. Information.
It.
So in 1955, I was like a year and a half old at this time. Carl, do you remember anything about that day that you can tell us?
Really,
All right, and what would you like us to know about what happened after the train hit the truck?
I think
Were you alive after the train hit the truck, or were you killed instantly?
thing up.
And did you realize when you died that you were crossing over and becoming a spirit? And did you try to fight becoming a spirit? Did you try to fight to stay alive? So I did hear a spirit owner say whistle. So in the background you are probably hearing that there is a train whistle going on right now. Carl, how do you feel when you hear that train whistle every day? Does it bother you, or, I mean, my goodness, 55 years, so, you know, this is 60, almost 70 years, 69 years since your death. Does it bother you?
Did.
I heard I'm dead, so I'll have to see if he says behind it, you know, no, I'm dead, or something of that nature. I guess, Carl, what I'm really wanting to find out is the process that went from you going from life to death and becoming a spirit. How was that? What was it like? Was it joyful? Was it scary? Did it just happen? Did it happen in a second? Did I don't know? Were you seeing everything? You know, if you do like the poltergeist film, you don't know the poltergeist film is go into the light. Did you go into the light?
He said, "Oh,
So something about oh shit. So does that mean that you seen the train coming? Possible. It's possible where we were. So if you didn't see it, you probably heard it.
well,
So if you seen it and or you heard it, did you try to jump from the truck, or was there just not enough time? That was interesting. Every something lived. So I don't know if they meant everybody lived after the crash, and then they died. The report I said just says they were killed. It doesn't say anything about there were anyone who carried on. They did say there were 3 that were seriously injured. The ones in the truck, there were 3 in the truck, 9 in the bed of the truck, 3 in the on the passenger seat of the truck. the big benches they used to have, and then in the back there are probably wooden benches that the other 9 were on. And you were obviously in the back.
What?
So we'll go back to one question. Was it a painless death? Were you able to transition quickly? Were you able to go easily into the spirit realm?
What do you?
That.
Did you, after your death, did you visit your family? Yes, and then eternal. Where does your spirit hang out? We're here at your grave. Where do you mostly hang out? Do you mostly hang out here at your grave or the area where you were killed?
Everything. You would.
Or does it matter? Does it matter, or are you just everywhere?
Kind of.
My feet.
So you found peace here in the cemetery? Is that what you're saying? What would you like us to take away from your death? The information on your death. What would you like us to walk away today with? Sound like I heard it was something, please don't tell. We'll listen to it. Maybe it was, please don't tell the story. Are you asking me not to tell the story of your death?
Rosemary. For the record, maybe.
So I heard Rosemary in there, I heard Ran in there, which is probably my sister, and I heard the wreck. So we'll have to go and we'll have to listen. Like I always say, I don't hear everything. I don't think I'm meant to hear everything. I think they want to put stuff underneath that you can't hear. Every time I go and listen, there's things on there that I'm saying, how the heck did I not hear that? And it's plain as day, but yet when I'm standing here right now, I didn't hear it. So we won't know until we listen to it. Somebody said the wreck. So are you saying you don't want me to tell the story of the wreck?
Terrifying.
I can only imagine how terrifying it must have been when you heard and or you saw the train, and all of a sudden, I mean, there's a split second, and you had to have heard the bang or something, and then nothingness.
There.
Well, I think it's always important for people to, when somebody says, well, a person has died, I think it's common that we all say, what happened? And we're all curious about that, Carl. And so we're curious about what happened, not only what happened, but what happened during what happened, if that makes sense to you. That makes sense. Okay. All right. It's, we don't mean to glorify it, but it is part of history of what happened. Now, in here somewhere are some of the other workers who died. I don't know where they're at.
It's
Mark.
No.
With door with
about
All right, Carl, is there anything that you would like to say to me? We're going to clean this up here. We're going to let this thing run for a minute, but before I do, I'm going to ask you if there's anything that you would like to say to us, to me, about what happened to you and your death.
what?
You know.
Okay, I heard something about a funeral. I heard the dog and at my foot, and that's about where they're at. But actually, I think they're on somebody else's foot. I don't know. This cemetery does things kind of weird. Sometimes where you think the head is, it's actually the foot, and where the foot is, it's actually the head. All right, Carl, I'm going to let this run for about a minute, and any other spirits that are in this area, this is a serviceman's area of the cemetery. So Carl must have been a serviceman. I don't see it here, and I didn't see it on the bio that I looked at, but this is where all the veterans are buried. So any other veterans, or Carl, if you got something you'd like to say for the next minute, I'll let the speaker box run and go ahead and talk.
You know. You're. I am.
Alrighty, I think that's about a minute, and Carl would like to thank you for giving us a little bit of your time. Hopefully it helps you, and hopefully we're able to pull stuff out of our conversation that will help us. To those watching this, hey, if you like what I'm doing, why not give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and leave a comment. I'm trying to figure out things to do, and what's interesting to me doesn't seem to be interesting to the mass. So if you've got an idea that I can do, let me know. So Carl, one last time here, do you have any last words you'd like to give us?
great.
You know.
Okay, and at the last part I said I heard, what's the matter with me? Well, if that was you, Carl, nothing's the matter with you. So with that, to all of those who are watching Graveyard Talking, my name's Randy, and I would like to thank you for spending the last 18 minutes with me and watching this video. And I will see all of you. There you are. I will see all of you on the next one.